What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I do want to go ahead and take a quick second to thank each and every one of you guys who tuned into my live stream the other day. I really appreciate it. We went ahead and, as you see right here, played some Battlefield 2042, and we put a lot of time to grinding out the brand new assault rifle. And as you can see in this gameplay here, the thing is a demon. It's a beast. Like, I'm not even lying to you guys. It is 1010% worth your time grinding up to tier level 40 for this thing. Of course, if you guys want to check out my live streams, squad up with me. We always have open lobbies, or even just chat it up with me. I pretty much stream every single day besides Sundays, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching me for a while now, you know that my opinions on Battlefield 2042 have shifted quite a bit. You know, there used to be a time where I really despised this game with everything in my heart. But truthfully, it has gotten way better. You know, I almost feel like how I did back when the beta first dropped for this game. If you guys don't remember, back in the beta, I was in love. You know, I might have been one of the only people who was actually hyping up Battlefield 2042. It felt so good, so clean. And then, of course, the official version of the game dropped. It felt horrible. The gunplay was completely destroyed. You know, everything got toned back. Clearly, there was no content for ages. The lack of love to the project was depressing, so on and so forth. You guys know why a lot of us kind of strayed away from Battlefield 2042. But over some time and with some work being done, I gotta admit, DICE has turned it around a decent amount. Is it the Battlefield game a lot of people have been waiting for? I wouldn't say so, but is it something that's playable, something that will hold you over for the time being, especially if you can get it on sale right now? Yeah, I think it will hold you over for some time until the next Battlefield game comes out, if you're even still interested in the franchise after Battlefield 2042. And also, I believe there's a sale going on Steam right now, like, what, 70% off for this game? Pick it up. Seriously, that's a really good steal for Battlefield 2042 in the current state that it's in right now. Yeah, it still has its bugs and glitches. I mean, for example, you know, my game still stutters. I can barely even stream it sometimes still. And it's the only game that I have problems with when it comes to streaming, recording, getting footage, just simply playing. It does have some issues, I'll be honest, but like I said, for such a cheap price, I think the content is there, the gameplay is there, the team play is getting there. It's a lot better of an experience. And of course, Game Pass owners and also PS Plus owners can get the game for completely free. But as I've been grinding Battlefield 2042, there is one thing that has been standing out a ton to me that I wanted to sit back and make a video about and see if you guys agree with me, disagree with me. At the end of the day, it's all opinion based. Everything that's on this channel is freaking opinion based. And, you know, I don't know where everybody always gets off saying that I'm preaching like some type of way and I want everybody to follow. No, like, everybody thinks for themselves here. That's the best part about this community. That's the best part about this channel. Everybody has their own opinions. It's great. So clearly, I don't know if everybody's going to agree with me on this one, but I think personally, the weapon attributions in the class system need a slight bit tweaking. Now, I like the class system in general. They did a really good job with finding a middle ground for the community with Battlefield 2042. You know, of course, they can't completely remove specialists from the game without any legal action being taken place. So they had to find a way to make sure classes are incorporated into Battlefield 2042 while still maintaining the specialist. And in my personal opinion, I do believe that this middle ground worked pretty nicely for the team play in Battlefield 2042. You know, that was the biggest reason for why people wanted the class system to come back into the game. Well, you know, it's two reasons. One, because it's just tradition for Battlefield to have classes. But two, you know, it adds to the team play. It helps people kind of path themselves into a role on their squad. So even when all hell's breaking loose or you're getting completely whooped, if you could just simply play your role, you can still benefit the rest of your team. And the class system helped bring people into that mentality, because without it, it turned it into basically a, you know, Call of Duty free-for-all. You pick your favorite specialist, you pick your favorite weapon, and you go out and absolutely slaughter. Every last bit of team play that Battlefield is known for went out the window. So having this middle ground back, I gotta admit, I think the team play is back. To, of course, a certain degree. It's not as good as the traditional class system that I would want, but it does the job correctly. But one thing that they did is they allowed certain weapons for these classes to have special abilities. And that's how they're trying to lock players into a specific weapon for a class without forcing them to do it. You know what I'm saying? They still want the freedom for you to pick whatever weapon that you want, but these traits that come along with matching up a specific weapon and a class are supposed to encourage you to, you know, lean more towards that direction of picking that specific catalog of weapons. You know, assault players having assault rifles, support players having SMGs, engineers having LMGs, recon players having sniper rifles, so on, so forth. And of course, like I just said, you can pick whatever you want, but these traits are supposed to be good enough that it encourages you to think otherwise. Now, I have to be real. While playing this game, and, you know, I'm playing a lot of it after they introduced the new class system, I have to be honest, the attributes, proficiencies, whatever you want to call them, the traits that come along with these weapons matching up with their classes aren't good enough, in my personal opinion. Now, the assault class, 110%, I love the idea of having tons and tons and tons of extra ammunition. It's great. And it really does encourage me to use assault rifles. I could use SMGs as, the assault class. I used to do that a ton. But now I want to use assault rifles because I feel more efficient on the front lines. I don't have to require someone to give me ammo all the time. I can solely focus on getting on the front lines, holding it down, taking out as much, enemy, vehicles as I can, and just holding back the enemy forces for as long as possible. It's great. But the rest of them are just strange, in my personal opinion. The support class, you go ahead and you can ADS faster, which already seems kind of weird because the SMG ADS is extremely it's a SMG. I don't get that, to be honest with you. I don't want to be rude here, but seriously, why would you give me a trait that allows me to have fast aim speed on the gun that has the fastest aim speed in the whole game? Out of all the categories, ARs, LMGs, snipers, SMGs already ADS extremely fast. That's the last thing I really focus on. And again, I do use SMGs as support, but I definitely don't feel like I am required to do so. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything when I do switch to an assault rifle or when I switch to an LMG. Same thing goes for engineers. I do, again, like I said, I enjoy using LMGs as an engineer because it's just my preferred playstyle when I am playing with vehicles. I like having a beefy-ass gun in case, crap really hits the fan. But realistically, do I have to? I mean, you get better recoil control if you crouch or prone. And 9 times out of 10, I don't like crouching or proning. It just makes you an easy target. You're standing basically still. And when you're trying to shift or move out of the way, you are like a slug. You're such an easy hit. And then, if you do need to sprint away, you're already at a disadvantage because you have to go from prone up to your feet. Then you can sprint off. 9 times out of 10, I'm not sitting there, doing that. If I have an LMG, even with an LMG, I'm still trying to strategically place myself. And yeah, it is handy in situations when I'm trying to hold down a spawn or hold down a lane. But 9 times out of 10, do I feel like I need it? No. I can just simply manage the recoil myself. It's not drastically different. And again, I can switch to a different gun and it won't really affect me anyways. I could just go use my favorite assault rifle with no recoil and I could just, stomp out with that as an engineer. It doesn't give me enough to make me want to use an LMG as the engineer class. And same thing with the recon class. And this, I do want to mention this before I mention the trait for them. I don't like that they don't allow the marksman rifles with that class because the majority of the recons, I don't like playing back with a sniper. It doesn't make any sense for me. Now, yeah, I do use them all across the board, but my favorite recons are probably people like Pike or Pake, however you pronounce her name. I do apologize. That's just my style. I like it being up on the front lines, even as a recon player. She feels like, obviously she's for intel. Even the new specialist, her abilities prioritize flanking. And at the same time, you want to be on the front lines too with her other ability, the EMP thing, because it helps, especially in Breakthrough, when you're on the front line and you stack those suckers because the whole enemy team knows EMP, basically. They can't see, they can't 3D spot, they can't do any of that nonsense. She's extremely useful on the front lines. I don't know why they don't add marksman rifles into the mix. Because, I get the snipers, I totally get it for recon, but marksman would be perfect just to add a little mix in there, just to allow us to change the playstyles a bit. So when I do play as these individuals, I can, prioritize their proficiency. But at the end of the day, it's not like their traits are any good anyways, because it just allows you to not have to hold your breath at all. And yeah, I'll admit, that's nice. It is nice not having to worry about that additional little bit of sway, but is it game-changing? Is it going to drastically make me want to pick a sniper every time I go to recon? No, not at all. Now, I'm not here to give you guys the fixes. I'm not here to resolve all these issues on, how to fix the proficiencies, but I just wanted to bring it to light. I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to see if you all agree with me that this is something that needs to be evolved. Because I like the class system right now, but again, I just don't see any purpose of matching up the weapons with the classes. It almost seems like they didn't want to, have that. They really wanted to keep the main concept of using whatever you want, whatever weapon you feel like. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy using those specific type of weapons, but I feel like having better proficiencies would definitely add a nice little mix to making people want to use a class-specific weapon. Like, how about for engineers, if you want to use LMGs, you get, extra ADS speed. So basically, the trait for the support class, if you pick an SMG, you switch that with the engineers. Simple as that. Give it to them, because I guarantee that a person would gladly pick an LMG on their engineer class if they knew that they can run a gun a little bit easier and they can ADS a bit faster without having to completely, change the overall, attachments of the LMG to fit that style. And then, of course, anybody else who wants to use an LMG on the assault class, support class, recon, doesn't matter. They don't have that, That's fine to me. That's fine to me. Again, the stuff that I'm shooting out here isn't amazing. I'm just throwing ideas out there that might, encourage people to actually use it, because having my recoil control while I'm laying prone isn't really that much of a thing that makes me want to use an LMG. For support players, I don't know. I mean, they're already trying to make it extremely fast, and I like that. So why not make it like sleight of hand on the SMGs? Reload extra quick. I can't tell you how many times that would have been extraordinarily handy while using like a PBX or something like that, or a Bison or any of the SMGs as a support player to be able to reload my mag. I would much rather have that than ADS speed, because the ADS speed, like I said, there really isn't no difference. I can use an assault rifle as a support player, and I will be perfectly fine with the ADS speed. It's already quick enough. But reloading, on the other hand, that would have gotten me out of a lot of messes as a medic, as someone who's on the front line trying to revive my teammates, trying to keep everybody active, up on their feet. To be able to get ammunition in my gun extra quick is helpful for those very tight and intense situations. Recons, I don't know for recon. I mean, what I'm about to say here might not be the best. And again, like I said, all of this stuff, I don't expect them to do. And I want you guys to list your opinions on what you think they should do down in the comment section. But maybe for recon, I don't know, if they have a sniper rifle or a marksman rifle or something like that, maybe if they hit an enemy, they're spotted for their squad only, not the whole team, but maybe for their squad only or something like that. That would encourage me to use a marksman rifle or, a sniper if I knew that my squad could see the person that I'm shooting at. Or maybe not even do that. Maybe like just a ping, not even a 3D spot, just one of those, the double tap pings that you have to do to get a model ping on your screen. I don't know. Again, it's probably a horrible idea, but anything is better than what we have right now, honestly. And I think there can be major improvements to encourage more people to use weapons that are designed for those classes if we can keep improving the proficiencies, because it's a good idea. It's a great concept by DICE to add those into the game to encourage that style, but they just need to be tweaked a little bit to make sure people want to use those weapons, because right now the only class that I want to use the weapon that is designed for it is the assault class. The rest of them, I could truthfully care less. I still use them because, obviously I love SMGs as medics because, as I already explained, I like being up close and personal. Engineers, I love using my, obviously my LMGs because it's just the role that I enjoy. It makes sense to use those weapons, but still, if we're trying to pull away from the Call of Duty, you're a lone wolf mindset, I think the best way to get people to actually try the team play and try using weapons for those classes is to give better proficiencies that will encourage them to go ahead and do it. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, for brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to the notification button. Also, want to chat with me, this too. We do so have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games, do it on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.